Carl and Damon here from Games, Brains and Head-Banging Life, gbhblofficial for short. And as they made what into a TV series, Final Fantasy Unlimited, episode 22, Moogle, Long Lost Memories. Hey, Moogle, awesome. This is Final Fantasy stuff I'm very familiar with. And it feels
Yep.
like we're getting more of that now. And we begin with the ship Jane floating down a river in a really lovely environment. Not only does it look peaceful, but it looks like people might be living there. And we then see them being watched from afar by what is clearly a Moogle who says, I sense his presence. Dun, dun, dun. Do you know what I got from this opening? I don't remember the name of the village, right? In Final
Mm.
Fantasy IX, when you first leave Alexandria, or you first break out the forest, should I say, the forest of that gets stoned over,
Yeah,
you
the
end
Evil
up in a
Brrraains.
small, yeah, you end up in a small village on a cliff that is very peaceful and nice, and it's revealed that it's a production
Yeah,
line for the evil wizards, the evil versions of Vivi. This is what
Dale.
this village reminded me. What?
The village of Dale.
Dale, there it
Yep.
is. This is what it reminded me of.
Mm. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, actually, it's a good shout actually because it is very peaceful. Yeah,
But with it's like it's peaceful, but
yeah.
quickly we know there's a bit of a sinister undertone behind it.
Mm.
Following the opening credits and a fabula recap, the peace of this place is allowing the commandant to sit to clean and repair the ship. Nave is loving this place as it reminds him of his home. But Lisa points out that it's still just a cube within the puzzle.
Mm.
He rudely calls her up tight and says they need to take a break occasionally. Dude, don't be a dick. Lisa, seeing you and Chobi playing in the water, kind of relaxes and sort of says, yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe we do need a break. She's not wrong, you jackasses. It's a cube in the puzzle, which means it has a purpose, which means this moment of peace isn't real. It's a fucking
Nope.
trap, you jackasses. Lisa is
Uh-huh.
right. Nave tries to involve Kaze, but he is ignored. Nave then gives all the comedy 2 hours of free time to relax. And they take that 2 hours quite seriously, I noticed.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
Playing ball, skipping rope, reading, painting, sunbathing. It is a weird scene.
Yeah, it's typical manga sort of thing.
Silliness.
Yeah,
Yeah, you nailed it. It is very, very manga, very
mm.
anime, Japanese anime. Some of our group head out to explore, arriving at a peaceful-looking town that I says looks like Japan. And I give them credit, like a sort of like 90s-looking Japan. I kind of get that vibe from it, the style of the buildings and
Mm.
so on.
Yeah, definitely.
A smell comes Lisa's way and she finds it familiar. Elsewhere, Nave also smells it, but both come to different conclusions about what it is. Something flies past them and Lisa gives chase, arriving in an alleyway, but nothing is there. But now she appears to be hearing things. Now, I clocked what this place was. Now, I clocked it. I was like, this is a place that makes you relax in memories, like makes you think of the past, nostalgia, basically.
Makes
And
you
it will
forget no.
trap you there. Trap you there. That's exactly it.
Mhm.
And I thought, God damn, this is good because we're all guilty of this, of being trapped in nostalgia, right? So I am going to talk now about something where I get trapped. So I am actually not big on nostalgia. I don't get nostalgic about films. I don't get nostalgic about music. I don't get nostalgic about memories. I'm very good at staying out of that,
Mm.
except for one area. There's one area what I do get nostalgia about. One area that I do get trapped in it, and it's video games. It's gaming.
Mhm.
It's the one area I get nostalgia about. I love seeing remasters and remakes. I love replaying old games. Every so often, I will go and be like, right, it's time for me to play one of my many beloved games. I love listening to video game music from the 90s and playlists and stuff like that. I love all of this. That's my nostalgia trap, Damon. That's my nostalgia trap.
Yeah, so I'm the same. So every so often I have the urge to go play Populous at the beginning, for
Populous,
example,
yep, yep,
and then I'll
exactly that.
continue. Yes, and then I will defend it to the end of the earth, even the PS1 version. despite how crap it is.
Which is fucking insane, folks. I know we're not talking about this, but goddamn, he drives me nuts with that shit. He drives me. I know it's because of, but that's the nostalgia, right? Because it's a
Yeah,
specific period in your life and memory. And even though the idea of having to wait 20 minutes for the fucking game to save or load is absurd by today's standards, we attach a happy memory to that.
we do indeed.
We
I've
do.
now discovered the PC version, which I love on Steam, by the way. Love it.
Yeah,
So
which is an outstanding way to play it. Absolutely, I agree.
yeah.
But yeah, you know, like as of the time recording, I just went through the nostalgia of replaying Dead Rising. And
Mm.
even though that's not a super old game, it's still a game that, as of this point, is 18 years old. So you see what I mean, like that kind of thing. And of
Mm.
course, although I've not got to it yet, one of my all-time favorite game series is the Broken Sword series. I love Broken Sword 1, I love Broken Sword 2. I like Broken Sword 3 and 4, and I love Broken Sword 5, and I cannot wait for Broken Sword 6. However, as
Mm.
of right now, they've also remade Broken Sword, the original game, and re-released it. It's called Broken Sword: The Shadow of the Templars Reforged, and that is now on Xbox. And I'm so stoked. I'm saving it. Basically, I'm saving it for a period of time where I can just sit there and play it for hours, that kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, yeah, of course.
So basically, the point of all of this is we get nostalgia. I do completely understand it as well. And so it makes sense for this episode. But I also find it sad because nostalgia needs to be balanced carefully because there are, people can get a little lost in, oh, life was better at a certain period in our life. Oh, I wish I could go back to when, and
Yep.
stuff like that. The two kids pursue Lisa, finding her in a sort of trance, holding buckets and speaking to her mother. They go off to find Nave and find him chopping vegetables, also in some sort of trance. Everyone the kids run into seems in some sort of trance relating to their past, finding Sid playing with some toys and speaking like a child. The only one seems unaffected are I, you, and Fungo. They also think Kaze might be fine, so they head off to look for him. So basically, exactly what we just said is happening. They're all getting lost in the nostalgic memories of their childhoods.
I like how the children are not affected because they haven't really got many nostalgia moments.
It's that you've nailed it. Exactly that. They don't have like basically the adults are nostalgic for memories of their childhood. You and I are in their childhood right now. So what have they really got to kind of look back? But also a child is rarely looks back in the same way an adult does. We look back with regret sometimes, in fondness. Time makes the heart grow fonder as well. Bad memories become lighter and you see all this stuff, whereas a child doesn't have that. Yeah, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
However, as they look for him around town, they hear a voice come from a building and go to investigate. Inside, they find a TV and a Moogle watching it. Moogle introduces himself, and when he refers to himself as a soil emissary, the kids wonder if there is a link to Kaze. Well, yeah, there's clearly going to be a link. There is, as the mention of his name gets the full attention of the Moogle. I is not trusting him though, pointing out that he seems unaffected by this land. The ball on his head now glows, and Moogle reveals that everyone is trapped in Memory Lane. I love that they give it a name, and the name is Memory Lane because, of course, what do we like to do? We take a wander down Memory Lane.
Yeah.
In this place, people are trapped in their memories, stuck there until they eventually disappear into them. It doesn't affect the kids because they're too young to have a lot of memories. It also doesn't affect Moogle because of the ball on his head. And Moogle
Mm.
points out a strange tower which is sending out odd radio waves. So basically, it sets up that Moogle isn't a villain.
Yeah.
The kids, Fungo and Moogle run to it, believing if they stop it, it might turn everyone back to normal. As they approach, they see Kaze and Moogle races ahead. Arriving at Kaze, Moogle speaks as though they once traveled together, but got separated in a battle. But Kaze's basically like, who the fuck are you? In classic Kaze style. He doesn't actually swear, folks, obviously, but that's how I see it.
Yeah. No, so I actually quite like this entire process of this entire scene.
I do, except that again, it feels randomly thrown in. We kind of didn't have any suggestion that Kaze had a companion, and now we do.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I didn't see it as more of a companion. I see it more as like the fact that he's met these people through the ages and the worlds and stuff like that. Yeah, that's what. Obviously, it's in the episode. It is like he's my buddy. He's my traveling buddy. We lost it,
Yeah.
but obviously for me personally, I saw it differently.
I think it's a good way to see it, but you unfortunately you don't get to rewrite what the show tells us.
Yeah, true.
And the show tells us they travel together.
Yeah. Well, of
You
course
read.
he did because he had to save his game, didn't he? So he had to press square in the controller. So,
Oh yeah, I'll give you that. Good one. You read an inscription on the tower revealing a powerful and ancient god was buried under it. The tower's waves now seem to enhance, and when they dissipate, you has now been lost to his memories of playing card games with I. And I like that. It's like the tower now feeling that it's under threat ups its game. It's like, hell, I'll up at my power so I can affect the kids. I was like, okay,
yeah,
you know what? That's fine. Moogle turns to Kaze, demanded that he destroy the tower with his Magun. Kaze is startled by Moogle's familiarity, but the Magun does move. Kaze now does what Kaze does, but I hear Moogle say, do it, God of Misdirection, as the Magun powers up. I was like, no, don't start adding more nonsense in at
no,
this stage. Another burst away from the tower, and the Magun stops working. It will not move, and they're in trouble as Crux looks on. Kukuyu. So I can't help it every time. Moogle starts to study the Magun, complaining about Kaze's treatment of it, using his power to repair it. So yeah, so basically, Moogle implies here that it's been damaged because of Kaze's treatment of it, and that Moogle can repair it. And I was like, oh, well, this is convenient, isn't it? You know what? I'm fine with the convenience. Let's just get somewhere.
yeah, yeah,
It's too late though, as Kaze has actually gone into his memories, and we see him with a woman in happier time. Moogle refers to someone named Aurora before turning to the kids and Bungle for help, only to find that they've been lost to memory lane too. So basically, everyone's fucked.
yeah,
Angry, Moogle shouts at Kaze, speaking about the times they fought together as we see the other members of the group lost their memory lane. Moogle, forced to do something drastic, forces Kaze to focus on his bad memories, though, of which, of course, Kaze has many. And this, nobody, I'm really clever. Nobody wants to spend time in bad memories.
yeah.
So it snaps Kaze out. And I was like,
Yeah,
outstanding resolve.
yeah, no, it's very clever and it's smart. It's smart how it gets them all out of it. Yeah, yeah, it's clever. Yeah,
It is clever. I won't ask how Moogle had the power to actually get Kaze to focus on bad memories because but you know what? It's fine. We need a resolution. As this
yeah.
allows Kaze now to also recognize who Moogle is. Moogle now makes the Magun move. And I guess he's got the power to do that. Cool.
I suppose that they are very powerful, but we don't really get to discover like how powerful they are. It's like bloody
Yeah.
Dobby from Harry Potter. He's extremely powerful, but we don't get to see it.
It's also an excuse and a lazy bit of storytelling, just like Dobby from Harry Potter, where here's a character who can apparently do these things that we don't really understand. And yeah, and look, had they set up the idea that Moogle and Kaze had traveled together before, and that together Moogle offered this power to the Magun, and that's what Kaze had been lacking up to this point, I'd be fine with it. The problem is, like so much, this is just randomly thrown in at the end.
Yeah, yeah, true.
So yeah, now it's proper Magun time, and Kaze summons Ipsion. The result is one well and truly wrecked tower. Moogle is almost blown away, but Kaze grabs his hand and saves him, calling him by his name. So Kaze has fully recovered his memories here. And again,
Yeah,
like I said, this would be fine. But imagine if this had been drip fed throughout the show. Like they
yeah,
had run into each other maybe more than once, and each time Moogle had been like, look, I'm this to you and all that. But circumstances meant they always got separated, leading to this point where they finally reunite fully.
yeah. No, I get that.
Everyone has snapped out of their journey down memory lane as the land literally starts to crack apart. Everyone gets aboard Jane and escapes under the water and out of this cube. And on the ship, there's some flexion aboard as we see that Kaze and Moogle are together now, sort of sitting together, and they're back reunited. And like I said, I'm fine with this. This was an interesting episode. I think there's some good stuff in it. But you know what's frustrating again? It feels again like an episode that should have come earlier on, rather than right at the freaking end.
Yeah, because it's almost like they're trying to explore explore more into cars, but it's too late for that now.
It's too late. Exactly
Yeah,
what David said. Too
yeah,
late.
yeah.
We're too close to the end.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. I like the memory lane aspect. I like
Yeah.
the storytelling. I like the depth of the characters given, and I like the resolution. I think it's one of the better sort of uses of the Magon to end a section.
I mean, as I said, they can be forgiven because the fact that they knew the show was coming to an end. So I can forgive them for maybe they had plans and more plans than they did for Chanel, but let's just put our last ideas into the show, and then that's all we can do.
No, I agree with you. We've always got to give them a little bit of a break based off exactly what Damon is saying there. But for now, that is episode 22, Moogle Long Lost Memories. Got any thoughts on this one? You know what to do. Let us know in the comments. Thank you very much for watching. If you'd like to see more content like this, please consider hitting the subscribe button. It is gratefully appreciated. You can find us over at gbhbl.com, our full website where reviews, news and so much more goes up daily. We're also on all social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Threads, at gbhbl. Just search for gbhbl and you will find us out there. We also have merchandise on sale. You can access the shop via the website.